Hello, everyone. We've got Sandra here from the Microsoft team at Ingram Micro, and she's going to give us a bit of an update on the Microsoft Surface products for business. So go ahead.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you so much. I have got my Surface headphones on, so it's super comfortable and I can hear you clearly. I've been looking after the Surface commercial Surface hardware portfolio at Ingram Micro for the last 2.5 years. And I really appreciate that you've taken the time to stop by today, and I hope that you will find value in this session as I share, my passion for what I do with you. Surface hardware really is anything but ordinary, and I just really enjoy looking after this brand, looking after the Surface resellers in New Zealand. They are just awesome to deal with. So I just want to jump straight in. What I first want to take you through is sort of the Surface journey. There we go. Wait, too fast. There we go. So the Surface journey really started in 2012. So really, Surface hardware has only been around for about 8 years. And in the last sort of 5 or 6 years, they've really come to the commercial space in business when they launched the Surface Pro 3, and from then it's really just been picking up speed. And in this year we launched the newest 4 products. So what you can see here is the Surface Go 2, the Surface Book 3, the new set of headphones, the black ones. So that's the second version of the headphones, and then also earpods. And I'll dive into that a little bit more. So, right, Surface has 7 products in their line at the moment. They're intentionally differentiated, yet when you look at them and work across them, you can see that they are connected through a core set of experiences. As you know, when committing to Surface for your business, you are committing to, a familiar set of experiences through all of the devices. And I will run through them as well. So the gorgeous 3x2 display, the premium inking and touch versatility form factors that adapt to how people work, the premium materials, the high quality meeting experiences, the mics, the speakers. It really is tuned to the human voice. All day battery life, power performance to run business applications, all of that sort of stuff. So Office 365, LTE options, it's all there for you, just depending on how you work, when you work, what your workforce looks like. So I will go through all of these. The Surface Go is the smallest one. It's the 10.5 inch. That's the new version. The Surface Pro is sort of the iconic, that's what everybody knows as Surface. So sometimes when I get an email, someone will say, I'm looking for a Surface. And I'm thinking, okay, Surface what? Because everybody in their mind thinks Surface Pro, because that's been around so long. The Surface Pro X was released last year. That's also a new form factor, slightly bigger, only available in LTE, so eSIM capable and SIM capable. And then the laptop is sort of the the surprise that no one really knows about, but that everybody is sort of starting to understand, and people are going from Surface Pro to Surface Laptop just because of how they work differently. The Surface Book 3 that was launched recently, and then the beautiful 28-inch Surface Studio that has got a phenomenal hinge that it's all touchscreen. So that would be your Mac, the designer Mac competition. Those are absolutely amazing devices, and we have all of these as demos that you can contact me, and we can actually send it out to your customers that they can trial and see how these devices work. And then if you were on the call this morning with the Surface Hub team, you would have heard a whole lot about the Surface Hub 2S. It's a 52-inch device, and then also I believe the 84-inch device is coming soon. Right, so what I want to talk to you now is just our new additions: Surface Go 2, Surface Book 3, and then the long-awaited Surface Dock 2. And yeah, I'll give you a little bit more information on that as we go. Right, so what's new? Surface Go 2. It's flexible, it's portable. Adjust the kickstand to the most comfortable angle that you like to type or write or watch or dictate or whatever it is. So what's new? They've made the bezel slightly smaller, so it's now a 10.5 inch. The form factor is still the same. The form factor hasn't changed, but they've made the bezel slightly smaller. So it is a slightly larger screen. It still weighs about 550 grams, just on tablet size. So think about, you know, your latte and your Surface Go sort of weighs the same. So that's that. They've upgraded the chipset, so it's now Intel 8th gen, and then you can have a 128 or 256 gig SSD, or also a 8 gig, 4 or 8 gig RAM. Something else that has also been integrated in the Surface Go 2 is that it's got that all-day battery life. Think that kids at school, a lot of the older schools don't have all of the plug points in all of the classes. So kids really need to have a device that can last a school day. So this has been kicked out slightly longer. And then also what Microsoft have been adding to the latest range is that fast charge. So you can get 50% battery life within half an hour and about 80% battery life within an hour's charge. So in between meetings, you may sit at a coffee shop, or you may be working from somewhere at the airport or whatever, and you just need to get enough charge so that you can work on the plane or wherever you need to be. So it really is something that Microsoft is thinking about, you know, that whole mindset around modern workplace, work wherever you are, and the Surface Go is really good for that. So the direct competition for the iPads with a full Windows 10 Pro touch screen, enterprise grade security all built into that device. 10.5 inch, think about that. And then what they've also done is they've just updated all of the accessory colors to be the same as the Surface Pro. So they've got the black, the charcoal, poppy red, and ice blue. So yeah, it really is lightweight, portable, and it can do whatever you need to do. We see a lot of these being rolled out in warehouses, in schools, front-end workers, people who are out in the field. And the price point is sub $1,000. So if you're looking at something that needs to, you know, do what you need to do, this is definitely a very affordable device. Again, 8 gig, 128, 256, also available in LTE. So the LTE device is probably touching on 1,500, but still a great device. So keep that in mind. Right, the next thing is the Surface Book 3. Now I'm, you know, the shoemakers' children, they often don't have shoes, right? And I'm still using a Surface Book 1 first gen. And this is most definitely the device that I will be looking at to use in my everyday life. So Surface Book 3 is very much on steroids. They have, it brings versatility, it's got high performance. It's a great laptop. You can remove the screen. You can turn the screen around, flip it down, and I'll show you that a little bit later. And a couple of things again here is whenever I speak to people in a room, when I mention the graphics cards, the gamers in the room, sort of their ears prick up and they listen a little bit more because it's a really great graphics card in these devices. NVIDIA Quadro, you'll see there, you get this in a 15-inch and a 13.5 inch. And the specs on this device is either an i5 or an i7, and it's either a 16 or a 32 gig RAM at anything from 126 to 156 gig to 1 terabyte of memory of space, SSD. What's really nice about this device is that the graphics card actually sits in the screen, and I'll show you that right here. So those are the different modes: laptop, tablet, portable studio. really an awesome device that works very hard. And on the next screen, I'll run through all of the different graphic cards comparisons as well. And there you have it, the GTX 1650. That's upgraded from the 1050 in the previous model. They all have 10th generation chipsets, the GTX 1660 Ti, and then the big TRX 3000 in the Surface Book 3 15-inch. And that really is all of the, if you're CAD, Bluebeam, Photoshop, all of the manufacturing, design, all of the guys who really need to be able to use a robust, strong graphics card, this is where you will be looking. Yeah, so there's a couple of other things. So you will see at the top how the screen comes off. If you are in the field and you're doing, I don't know, a movie shoot, or you've got whatever you need to do, you can actually do it with the tablet only. You can tilt it, so it can be portrait, landscape, doesn't really matter, and it can also charge on its own. It's got its own charging port right there, so you don't have to have it connected to the keyboard to have it charged. There are two batteries, one in the tablet, one in the keyboard, and they actually charge individually. So when the one is fully charged, it will start charging the other, or they can charge simultaneously. The next thing I want to talk about is the Surface Dock 2, long awaited. It really does change your laptop into a desktop PC. So you can, what's updated on this is that it's got 4 USB-C ports. It's also got 2 USB-As or USB-C 3s, as it's known, Ethernet. So everything that you need, something that I think Microsoft has really listened to, is that they've made the cable slightly longer. It's now an 80 centimeter cable. And I know if you have lots of cables and everything on your desk and you sometimes need to have it just a little bit further, then that has been, it's been a bit of a frustration. Yeah, so also what is really good with this, it's that Microsoft listened to all enterprise requirements. And based on that, these are the enterprise grade features that is now built in. So your IT department can control the dock, and they can turn certain ports on and off, restrict hosts from what kind of connections they can put in there. The updates are also much more easy to do, frictionless if you want to put it that way. And then it's also got a wake up. So you can wake the device up, whether it's shut down, whether it's on sleep mode. So as an IT department, you can update your device through the dock in a much simpler, easier, frictionless way than the first version of Surface Dock. Right, so now I want to get into just a little bit of housekeeping on our already well-known Surface devices. Surface Pro 7 was launched in October last year. And I think what is really amazing about these devices, or this one specifically, is that the 3x2 resolution is still amazing. It's the always on, it's the fast charge. So if you, again, as I said earlier, if you're in running from the one meeting to the other, or you're in a coffee shop or something, you can really get that charge very quickly. So the Surface Pro 7 is sort of our bread and butter. Everybody knows it. It is a fantastic device, 12.3-inch form factor. So it's really easy to carry with you. It's super portable, and the keyboard comes off, so it's magnetically connected, can come off, and you can use it as a tablet. So the hinge, whenever I speak to customers, I'm always amazed at how no one has ever had an issue with the Microsoft Surface Pro hinge. That is probably the best designed part of the whole device. So you can flip it right down to 270 degrees. So if you want to write, you can flip it right down, sit and write, move it right up, type. Really well engineered, very strong, works amazingly. Yeah, so that's Surface Pro 7. Then another product that was launched at the same time as Surface Pro 7 is the Surface Pro X. Slightly bigger form factor, 13 inches, only available in LTE. The accessories are not compatible to the Surface Pro 7. It's a different size. It's completely different technology. This runs on a Qualcomm SQ1 processor. It is not the Intel processor. It runs on 32-bit apps, so very much a device for your mobile workers. So people who need to be on the web apps, not someone who is going to necessarily be using sort of legacy apps for different devices. So it's very much it's a two-in-one, and you can use it out in the field. We've got quite a few customers who have sales reps or people in the field, and this is absolutely something that they swear by. This works for them. Always on LTE, fast charge, long battery life, a really good device if you're thinking field people, front end or front facing, customer facing people. Just think about this device. Speak to me if this is something that you would be interested in. Then Surface Laptop 3 for Business. And this is the one that I was talking about earlier, at a very similar price point to your Surface Pro 7, maybe a $50 or $100 difference for the same spec. So let's say i5 256. Your form factor is bigger on a 13.5-inch device. The weight distribution on the device is also different. Obviously, because the Surface Pro 7 is a tablet with a keyboard, where this is a traditional laptop. I love this device, and I must say there's a lot of people that I speak to that really like that sandstone color. So that's available in the 13.5-inch. And again, the smaller model, the smaller form factor, you can either get it in the Alcantara finish, or you can get it in the metal finish. So metal is the black and the sandstone. The Alcantara is available in the platinum and the cobalt blue. Also, something new that was added to the line in October last year is the 15-inch Surface laptop. The specs on that goes up to an i7 16 gig 1 terabyte SSD device. Yeah, it's really an amazing laptop if you are looking for Surface in a laptop. Right, the last one that I want to speak about in terms of the range is just that there is a Surface device for every role in your organization. So whether you have got roaming customer services people, or you've got, you might have, I don't know, you might be in the services industry, you might be a plumber or electrician and you need LTE, but you want a small tablet. So that's where your Surface Go would come in for you. You might be designer, engineer, in that field. That's where your Surface Book 3 or your Surface Studio 2 would come in. If you have a room solution that you're looking for, your Surface Hub would be your starting point, because all of these devices seamlessly connect to the Surface Hub and to one another. So have a look at where in your industry or where in your company you would like to start rolling out your Surface devices, because they're premium devices. They're part of the Microsoft stable, and I'll get to that in a minute around security and the security, the cover security from Microsoft devices. Last thing I want to touch on is just the Surface accessories. And here I've really just put out the Surface accessories for Surface Go and Surface Pro. Surface Pro X has got a keyboard, their own type cover, and it's got a different type of pen. So it's a very slim line pen that actually fits into the cover. So when you connect the cover to the device, it actually closes the pen up and it charges it while it's in the type cover. The Surface headphones too was recently launched. That's available in this platinum or in the black, and then also Surface earbuds. I have been changing all my slides with my Surface Pen. So my Surface Pen is connected to my device, and every time I click the button at the top, I'm actually just changing my slides. So all of those are sold separately. And then I quickly want to touch on the next business day warranty. I think it is something that a lot of our commercial customers are not aware of. Microsoft's devices are shipped with a 1-year standard warranty, and you can purchase a 3 or 4 year Surface warranty from Ingram. So it's 3 or 4 years. It is next business day. So if you troubleshoot with your customer and something is wrong with the device, our team at Ingram Micro in Rosedale will flick off next business day a device to you. So it's not a repair business model, it's a replace model. And so they will replace your faulty device with another device within next business day. You might find rural customers might have to wait another day or so, but pretty much it's a next business day warranty. And for about, I don't know, I think it's about $150 for a 3-year Surface Pro next business day warranty. It's a really good product to add peace of mind, quick and easy, and and we service it from our offices in Rosedale. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on, and I really want to pause here for a moment, and this is what I wanted to get across to all of you. Multi-layered protection from Microsoft, so from chip to cloud. The unique thing about Surface is that everything from the firmware to the cloud management is controlled in the device and maintained by Microsoft, giving you a multi-layered protection. Microsoft Surface has been using a unified approach to firmware protection and device security since 2012, throughout complete end-to-end ownership of the hardware design, the in-house firmware development, and the complete holistic approach to device updates and management. For Surface, the Unified Extendable Firmware Interface, big words, the UFI, is maintained in-house. It's regularly updated, it is seamlessly deployed, minimizing the risk and maximizing the control at the firmware level before the device even boots up. This is updated through Windows updates and managed by Intune or the SCCM. Across the portfolio, Microsoft includes discrete or firmware TPM chips, protecting your most sensitive information on your devices. All Surface for Business devices ship with Windows 10 Pro. With powerful built-in security features, including automatic updates, BitLocker, cloud-powered intelligent security, and it protects your devices for everyday threats or from everyday threats. Every device comes standard with Windows 10 Pro. I said that already, but I really want you to understand that. It ships straight from the factory, enabled with autopilot. You don't need the hash numbers for Surface devices when you want to deploy on autopilot. It's implemented with the latest security, and you are covered pretty much from the chipset to your operating system through to the cloud. And if you combine your Surface device with Microsoft 365, your people have the freedom to work in their way, wherever they are, whatever they do, with the best cloud productivity platform on the planet and the latest security and modern management solutions from Microsoft. So that will proactively keep your business safe. The last thing that I want to call out here is the Windows Hello for Business. So Windows Hello replaces passwords with strong two-factor authentication, or MFA. And it doesn't just use a photograph of you, it actually uses your biometrics. So having said that, I want you to think about that. All of the devices have a camera strong enough to actually do biometrics. I have a colleague who has a twin sister, and her twin sister has been trying to get into her device, and he doesn't allow her. The biometrics are different. And based on that, every device is secure from passwords you may forget, or post-its that you put somewhere and remember your remember your password in some way. So this is what I really want to leave with you. The modern management tools include Microsoft Endpoint Manager, and the multi-layer protection continues into the cloud. And I think that is really the crux of Microsoft 365 plus Surface for Business, is that you are completely covered with security, as I said earlier, from chipset through to the cloud. One last thing is, since the launch of Surface Pro 7, Microsoft has changed and adapted the commercial packaging for the devices. So you will see that all of the commercial packaging is now changed. It's not that white packaging anymore. It is now the packaging that that breaks down easily. It can also be flat packed, so that makes it easier to recycle. Yeah, so there's just a whole lot that Microsoft is thinking about in how the devices work better for you and work better for the environment. So thank you very much for your time. I think I'm bang on 12 o'clock, Sean. Is that right?
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly right. If there are partners that are wanting to sell the Surface products, should they get in contact with you? Or?
Yep. Yeah, they can. There's my details. You are more than welcome to contact me. Take a screenshot of that. Find me on LinkedIn, or just email me directly at Ingram Micro. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thanks,
we'll
Sean.
end it there, and we'll move on to the next presentation, which is a security presentation by Fortinet.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely afternoon. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Cheers.